As the 10th month of the year draws to a close, a familiar feeling settles across the land. The air grows crisp, the nights lengthen, and a sense of mischief and mystery begins to stir. We call this time Halloween. It's a night of costumes and treats. But have you ever wondered where it all began? To find the answer, we must journey back in time. We must travel to the green hills of ancient Ireland. Long before our modern celebrations, the Irish people had a festival that marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter's long, dark reign, a festival that acknowledged a profound shift in the world around them. This ancient festival was called Samhain. The word itself is thought to mean summer's end. For the Celtic people, this was not just another date on the calendar, it was their New Year's Eve, a moment of profound transition. The light half of the year was over, and the dark half was about to begin. It was a time to take stock of the harvest, to bring the cattle in from the fields, and to prepare for the cold months ahead. It represented the eternal cycle of life and death, of light and darkness, a pattern woven into the very fabric of their existence and the cosmos itself. But Samhain was more than just a seasonal marker. The ancient Celts held a powerful belief about this particular night. They believed that on Samhain the boundary between our world and the other world became thin. So thin, in fact, that it could be crossed. This was a time when spirits, fairies, and the souls of the dead could walk among the living. It was known by other names too, names that hint at its spooky nature. Some called it the Night of the Dead, others called it the Feast of the Dead. It was a time for honoring ancestors, but also a time to be wary of what might emerge from the shadows. This belief shaped every tradition associated with the festival. People would light massive bonfires on hilltops. These fires were thought to have protective and cleansing powers, warding off malevolent spirits that might cause harm. They would also leave offerings of food and drink outside their homes. These were meant to appease the wandering souls and ensure the household would be safe through the long winter. It was a night of respect, of remembrance, and of a deep primal fear of the unknown. A night when the universe itself seemed to hold its breath, and honestly anything was possible. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. As centuries passed, new beliefs arrived in Ireland. The Catholic Church spread its influence across the land, bringing with it a new calendar of holy days. The church leaders, in a clever move, often placed their own festivals on top of existing pagan ones. This helped to ease the transition for the local people. And so, in the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a day to honor all the saints. He called it All Saints' Day, a day for solemn reflection and prayer, a stark contrast to the wild pagan energies of the night before. This created a new and fascinating blend of traditions. The night before All Saints' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve. Hallow is an old word for a holy person or saint. Over time, All Hallows' Eve was shortened and slurred together. It became the word we all know today, Halloween. The old pagan festival of Samhain did not disappear. Instead, its beliefs and rituals merged with the new Christian observances. The bonfires, the costumes, and the belief in wandering spirits all survived, now framed within the context of a Christian holiday. The idea of a porous boundary between worlds remained central to the celebration. People continued to believe that ghosts and supernatural beings were especially active on this night. To protect themselves, they adopted new practices. One of the most famous was the act of guising. People, especially young men, would dress in costumes. They would wear masks made of animal skins or cloth. The purpose was to disguise themselves from the spirits. If you looked like a fellow spirit, the thinking went, the real ghosts and ghouls would leave you alone, mistaking you for one of their own. These geisers would go from house to house, often reciting verses or performing short plays in exchange for food. This tradition is the direct ancestor of our modern-day trick-or-treating. The fear of what lurked in the darkness was real, but so was the sense of community. The act of dressing up and sharing food was a way for people to face the darkness together. They turned a night of supernatural dread into a night of communal performance and shared protection, a pattern that continues to define how we celebrate Halloween even now in our modern world. Within this rich tapestry of Irish folklore, certain figures stand out. They are the personification of the fears that haunted the long, dark nights of Samhain. One such entity is the Far Leath, which translates to the Grey Man. He is not a ghost in the traditional sense, but something far more elemental and terrifying. The Grey Man is a spirit of the mist. He is a creature born of the thick, disorienting fog that rolls in from the sea and smothers the Irish landscape, particularly during the autumn months. He is the chilling embodiment of being lost and alone. The fear of the far lieth is not the fear of a violent attack. It is something more subtle, more psychological. He is a harbinger of despair and confusion. Legends say that he appears to those who wander alone through the mist. He does not speak. He does not threaten. He simply materializes, a tall, indistinct figure cloaked in gray, blending almost perfectly with the fog around him. His presence is said to drain the warmth from the air and the hope from your heart, leaving you utterly disoriented and filled with a profound sense of dread. To encounter the gray man is to lose your way, not just physically, but mentally. Travelers who claim to have seen him spoke of their compasses spinning wildly, their sense of direction vanishing completely. They would walk for hours only to find themselves back where they started, as if trapped in an invisible maze. The Farliath's purpose is to ensnare you in the fog, to watch as you succumb to the cold and the hopelessness. He is a silent predator who uses the landscape itself as his weapon, a truly frightening concept for anyone who has ever felt lost in the wilderness. This legend speaks to a very real and ancient fear, the fear of nature's indifference. In a world without GPS or streetlights, a sudden thick fog could be a death sentence. The Farliath gave a face to this danger. He was a story told around the fire on a cold night, a warning to not stray too far from home, especially on a night like Samhain. He is a reminder that some forces of nature are beyond our control, and that in the deep mists of the world, we are very small and very vulnerable. If the Grey Man represents the passive terror of nature, another figure from Irish lore embodies a more active and malicious intent. He is known as the Far Dorocha, the Dark Man. Unlike the misty form of the Farliath, the Dark Man often appears as a handsome, charming stranger. He is a trickster, a bringer of sorrow, and a dealer in cruel games. His arrival is often preceded by a sharp, sudden knock on the door, a sound that cuts through the silence of the night and chills the soul of anyone who hears it, for they know who it might be. The Far Dorocha's primary goal is to steal newborn babies and replace them with changelings. But on Samhain, his mischief takes a different form. He seeks out those who are celebrating, those who are filled with joy and laughter. He might join a party, telling wonderful stories and captivating everyone with his wit. He offers challenges and dares, often with a golden prize for the winner. But his games are always rigged, and the price of failure is far greater than anyone imagines. He delights in turning happiness into despair, feasting on the sorrow he creates. One popular tale involves the Dark Man challenging a household to a game of riddles or a test of strength. He might promise a pot of gold to anyone who can best him, but his riddles are impossible, his strength supernatural. When the mortal inevitably fails, the Far Dorocha reveals his true, terrifying form. He doesn't take your life, he takes something more precious. He might steal your good luck for the coming year, ensuring a failed harvest. Or he might curse your family with sickness, leaving a cloud of misery that lingers long after he is gone. These legends of the Farliath and the Far Dorocha, of myths that confuse and strangers who deceive, are more than just scary stories. They are the very soul of the ancient traditions we now call Halloween. When children dress up as ghosts and go from door to door, they are echoing the ancient practice of guising, of hiding from spirits. The jack-o'-lantern on the porch is a modern version of the protective bonfires. The spooky tales we tell are the descendants of these warnings about the Grey Man and the Dark Man. The veil may seem thicker now, but the spirits of Samhain are still with us, hiding just beneath the surface of our fun,